Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I want to ask you, are you using ChatGPT to do your research? If so, stop before you go any further. It's important that you know these common mistakes that could lead to unreliable results, plagiarism, or even academic trouble. I'm Dr. Hector Vasquez, and in today's video I want to cover some of the biggest pitfalls and how to use ChatGPT responsibly for your research. So with that being said, let's get started. So understanding ChatGPT in academic research, it is a powerful tool. AI in general is extremely powerful, but it should never be a replacement for human expertise. It has its limitations and it should be used carefully, especially, when you're doing research at the academic level. Now, over reliance on AI writing is one of the biggest mistakes that individuals tend to do. They use ChatGPT to write entire papers. By the end of this presentation, I want to exactly go through this process and then show you from a instructor or researcher's perspective on how we can determine if a resource you use is AI generated and how you can avoid these mistakes. Like I said, that can be costly down the road. So if you want to use AI, it's always encouraged that you use AI to brainstorm ideas, create outlines, even refine your thoughts. Oftentimes we have writer's block and you're trying to get a sense of what direction to take. AI is good for that, as I mentioned, to come up with concepts, kind of like creating a concept map. However, critical thinking matters. So you need to ensure that your research remains original. It has to be your thoughts, and if it's not your thoughts, again, you have to cite appropriately. AI should not replace your thinking, and you should develop your own insights and analysis, again, based on literature if you're doing any kind of literary analysis or you're doing any academic writing. So you want to engage critically with AI-generated information. Fact checking is crucial. So you need to understand that the information you're pulling, even AI at the very bottom, if you look in fine print, it tells you that AI can make mistakes. Therefore, the information is not 100% accurate. Sometimes it is. Again, this is where you as an individual has to fact check and back test this information to make sure that it's, you have to cross-reference it with peer-reviewed sources, current academic research, reliable academic databases. And again, ChatGPT does have limitations when it comes to its knowledge base. So also, you want to avoid plagiarism. And by doing so, of course, is by incorporating your in-text citations, your references. But keep in mind that ChatGPT does not always provide you the correct citation or reference information. I'll show you an example of that in a bit, and you can see exactly what the thought process is from an instructor's point of view, what we go through to pretty much check whether this is an AI generated resource or if it's something that, again, you can use and how you can fix this when it comes to, seeing the discrepancies within the citations and the work that it's correlated to. So again, use plagiarism detection tools. I'll cover one of those tools at the end of this presentation. Follow academic citation guidelines, and again, be transparent about AI tool usage. If you're using AI, state that it is AI generated. It's one of those things that, again, it's better for it to come from you as the writer than for it to, surprisingly come up from an instructor who finds this information within your academic work. You want to maintain academic writing structure. So, AI, again, it's not that it's no structure. It's just, again, it's writing from a different perspective. It's just like anything else. When you read three different bodies of work from three different individuals, they're all going to sound different, based on tone and just the way we as individuals tend to write. So again, review and edit for logical transitions, clarity, narrative structure, and you want to ensure, again, that there's a smooth reading process and experience. So you want to see, again, that the structure flows, and because, again, when you're doing, if you're using AI to write your paper and you're putting in different prompts and it's different days of the week, for instance, or different times, you're just copying and pasting for the most part, at least some people are, and you can tell that there are hard stops and there's just no transition between a lot of this AI writing. So that's something that you need to keep in mind, that when you write, you should have a clear structure, and that's something that AI lacks for the most part. Also, you want to respect disciplinary conventions. So each field has unique standards, whether it's using AI, not using AI, limitations on what you can use it for. Again, every academic field is different, so you want to know what those writing conventions are in your field, and you want to use it, use AI cautiously. Like I said, if it's too easy, I've always said everyone would be doing it, and if that's the case, well then, it's just like too good to be true. So always verify, again, against your discipline specific guidelines on the use of AI. Now, when it comes to effective editing strategies, again, same thing. they will provide, provides a first draft, and it allows for you to edit and proofread. But again, it's so much more than that. It's about the accuracy of the information that is being provided. Where is ChatGPT pulling this information from, and that source? Is it a reliable source? Is it backed by an agency, an organization? Is it a peer-reviewed article? This is all information, again, that you have to be mindful of. And as I mentioned, use it responsibly. Use it as a tool. I often tell people it's like calculators. Calculators are not bad tools, but if I put in 2 + 2 is 4, I know that's the right answer because I know how to solve math and I know how to do math, right? But if I have no idea how to just do simple addition, I don't know that answer's right, but I assume it's right because it's being provided to me. It's kind of the same thing with any AI tool that we use, right? We input something that we're unsure of, it produces something for us, and then the output, we take at face value, assuming it's correct, without back testing or doing any kind of, investigating of, is this reliable information or not? That's the key part, I believe, is the disconnect of assuming that everything that comes out of any AI software is 100% accurate, when even ChatGPT, as I mentioned earlier, itself tells you they do make mistakes. So again, if you want to use it for productivity, you want to use it for generating sources, I think the important part in all this is maintain the academic integrity and do the work in testing out and looking if this information is a reliable source of where this information is coming from. So now I want to get into the exact thought process that it comes to when you find articles, right? So here is an example of 3 articles that were pulled using ChatGPT, okay? These articles were from a paper that I reviewed. And again, as educators, as professors, instructors, our job is to look and make sure that your references are in proper format. And again, make sure that the DOIs or the URLs actually take you to that specific article, okay? So aside, we're not getting into the formatting of the citation. What I'm looking at right now is this article, The Impact of Experiential Learning and Leadership on Leadership and Development, apparently comes from the Leadership Quarterly Journal. Okay, so this is a DOI. By clicking on the DOI, it's going to take me exactly to that article. Okay, so as I do this to take me to the article, you're going to see that the article that it pulls up is not the article that it states that it is within the reference. So this article, The Impact of Experiential Learning and Emotional Intelligence Towards Leadership Development of Undergraduate Students. This is not the same article that ChatGPT says it is, based on the DOI. So the next question becomes, well, maybe it's just the DOI that is incorrect. So now what we'll have to do is we'll have to cross-reference. We'll look up the leadership. This is the longer route to looking up this particular article. Now we'll look up Leadership Quarterly. Let's look up the journal, and then we'll find volume 32, issue 2, and this is where this article should be. Well, now if we go into the Leadership Quarterly, volume 32, issue 2, and as you can see, this article is not listed within this journal. Therefore, that tells me that this was more likely AI generated because, again, AI will make mistakes. So where is it getting this information from? I have no clue. But as you can see by cross-referencing, this article does not exist based on this volume number, issue number, and journal. Could the volume number and issue number be incorrect? Of course it could. But again, that's the whole point. This reference is entirely wrong. So these are some of the pitfalls, like I said, that when you're doing AI, when you're using AI to find you sources, you need to make sure that the source can actually be traceable. You can actually find it again, okay? Using this last one, we'll use this one as well. The Role of Social Media Interaction and Experiential Learning. It's from the Educational Research Review. Same thing. If I want to open the hyperlink, it tells me it's unable to open it because, again, it does not exist. If I simply copy and paste this, instead, we can go ahead and open a new tab, and it'll tell you that it's not found. So let's take the long route by looking up the exact journal it came from. It came from the Educational Research Review, volume 14, issue 2. We have Educational Research Review, volume 14. This is issue 2. And as you can see, the title of the article, The Role of Social Interaction. And there is no article in here within this volume or issue number. So therefore, again, this is another incorrect source. So as I mentioned, these are the pitfalls that you can find when looking at articles and using ChatGPT to provide. Because again, is it a legitimate article? It possibly could be, but the information it's providing to you to locate this article is incorrect. So now your job, in a sense, becomes more difficult in trying to locate this, right? The other thing I mentioned earlier was about writing papers. Okay, so if you are going to write a paper using ChatGPT, you can easily do that by just, again, incorporating any kind of theme prompt. Okay, in this case, let's write a paragraph on the impact of social media on education. Here's an example of a paragraph that it wrote for me, right? Well, there are AI detectors, and you can just Google AI detectors, very much like turnitin.com if you're familiar with that, where it detects plagiarism. And you can go in here and just paste your text and detect AI, and it tells you it's 100% of this text is likely AI. Okay. And again, when you're using AI to write papers, keep in mind that we as individuals all have our own writing styles. When you write a certain way, an instructor will, obviously when they study your writing, they know the type of writer you are and they know what kind of words you use. AI doesn't know that about you. So when you turn that in, the instructor is going to know this wasn't you based on the word usage and how you structure your paragraphs and your phrases, so on and so forth. And again, they can simply use this AI detector. And is this 100% accurate? Of course not, but based on the wording, it's detecting that it's very likely that it's being used with human written 0%, right? But again, the instructor themselves will be able to tell based on the wording that is used. So again, and like anything else, as you see, there are no citations here. There's no references. Where's this information coming from? Who knows, right? And as an instructor, we ask the same questions. Where did you pull this from? How do we know it's a reliable source? So as I mentioned, guys, there are so many things when it comes to using AI that can be used, again, for productivity, to cut down and save you time in many things. But keep in mind that the mistakes that are made, the pitfalls of using AI, and how it can impact academic integrity. And again, when you're publishing documents, when you're writing different papers, the last thing you want to see is people determining that most of your stuff was AI generated. Whether it's a resume, a cover letter, you want to, again, just have integrity when it comes to using these tools. They should be used as a resource, but not the end all be all to do your work entirely. There has to be a human component and element to all of your work if you want to be successful. So with that being said, if you have any comments, just drop them down in the comment section, like the video, share it. But like I said, if there's anything that you have questions about, or you're not unsure if you should use AI for a certain research component or not, just leave it in the comment section. I'll respond back. But that's it for today's video, and hopefully you found it insightful.